Hello, this is Randy Opera with ChartPattern.com. You know me as CM in the chat room. And I thought I'd review and do a follow-up video to the opening range breakout. There were some misunderstandings based on some of the questions that I received. And I want to make sure people understand that this is not a one-size-fits-all strategy. You are not going to just trade based on an opening range breakout. That's not a setup. It is a way to trigger or a way to execute a trade that you are looking to enter, but it is not a standalone strategy. So for someone who asks, well, what is the accuracy of this? Well, it depends on the setup that you are buying it out of. You wouldn't want to buy an opening range breakout of a stock that is falling apart and at new 52-week lows, and you're trying to buy a breakout to go higher. It would depend on the conditions. In the case of Apple, this stock had been consolidating, waiting for earnings at highs. So there was no resistance above. It was at all-time highs. And in the conditions, there were some factors that made this look like a better setup than others. So Dan highlighted it in the newsletter for a buy at approximately 195. And you, even if you missed it and didn't buy it in after hours or didn't catch it, this was a secondary way to execute the trade. It also was proper in this case because the opening range was reasonable. It was a couple of dollar range on a $199 stock. If the case was another stock where it rips off the open and it jumps in the first 5 minutes $12, well, then you're not going to probably use an opening range breakout because the range of that trade would be too large to consider. And you'd look at the range of how the stock behaves and you'd realize this stock never moves $12. I can't use a range of $12 to enter. There are some parts of this obviously way beyond just understanding what an opening range breakout is. But if you're a newsletter subscriber and you were looking for one way to execute, this is one way.